Yo, what is up guys? Welcome to another new video on the channel. Today I'm going to be sharing you 5 tips on how you can take better pictures with your smartphone, be it your iPhone, your Samsung, be it your Techno phone. You guys know now, the Techno phone. Coming right up after this, Khaled the Workaholic. Alright guys, so welcome back. If you're new here, please do well to turn on post notification and subscribe to the channel so you guys don't miss out on great content like this. And old subscribers, you know how we do it. I love you guys. So my number 1 tip is understanding your camera. Understanding your camera is actually key because there are limitations to this thing, but understanding your camera will actually help you to know the loopholes to avoid and to know what to go for. You need to probably go into your camera settings, and try out different settings that works. There's no point having a smartphone camera and leaving it on default. And some phones actually have manual settings which will actually help you to play with more controls. So you need to understand all these things and know how it works and what doesn't. Maybe your phone is actually better to take portraits. Maybe you might want to go into portrait photography for the main time, or maybe your phone gives you more vibrant colors, and when you're shooting landscape it's just wonderful. The greens are popping, the blues in the sky are popping. So the point is that you need to understand your camera to know what works and what doesn't. So understanding your camera is my number 1 tip for taking better photos with your smartphone. So my second tip for you guys is composition, and basically composition is how you compose your image for a better visual appeal. And going by this, you might consider rule of third, which is actually when you divide your frame into horizontal and vertical lines and placing your subjects in where the line cuts across each other. Or when you talk about leading lines, like the rail track, or when you talk about textures on the wall, and maybe for street photography you talk about gestures on the faces of your subjects and all of those. Or when you take a picture of a woman in the market, you probably want to put her in a background where it shows that she's in the market. So basically, some of this element that you put together to make your subject complete to an extent. It's actually a very broad subject. I can't go all into it right now, but I'll probably talk more in another episode. Alright guys, so to my third tip is timing and patience. Photography requires a lot of patience, and that brings me to a particular point, which is there's a difference between a photograph and a snapshot. A snapshot is when you just whip out your phone out of your pocket and you take a picture, but a photograph requires you to have timing and patience because you probably need to compose your image, as I mentioned in the second tip. So it requires a lot of timing and patience. So let me just give you guys a quick example. Like you're taking a picture of a canoe man. It would be great taking a picture at that point in time, but how about you wait for a little while for when he casts his net to take that picture? That would be a richer image. So guys, that's an example of my number 3 tips. I want to say number 4. Number 4 tip is actually empathy, and this is mostly for documentary photographers because I am a documentary photographer. You need to be able to feel, you need to be able to pay attention to details. Actually, the work in documentary starts even before you get to a location where you're shooting, which in this time you probably need to know where you're going to, the language they speak, whatever it is they do. Basically, you need to put all these things into consideration so that you can have a better communication with the people or the person you are going to photograph. So as much as you can, you need to be able to communicate, you need to be able to feel. If you have all this box checked, these people will let you come into their space, and it will be so easy photographing them. So my number 4 tip is actually empathy. You should be able to feel and relate with the people you want to photograph. So my number 5 and last tip is actually post-production. Like I get asked a lot of this question, like what app do you use to edit your photos and all of that. But the point is that there are tons of professional apps you can use for mobile photography. It's in here, but you need to just pick one and understand it. My best being Snapseed. I love Snapseed because number 1, it is entirely free and it is a robust app with so many tools and controls to play with. But just for the record, there's VSCO, there's Lightroom for mobile, there's Photoshop. I don't think they are all entirely free, but the most important is just check one that works for you for the kind of photograph you do, be it portrait or landscape, and stick to it and probably learn it. So there you have it guys, 5 tips to take better pictures with your smartphone. I'll run through the numbers again. Understanding your camera, number 1. Composition, number 2. Timing and patience, number 3. And what's the 4th one again? Empathy for documentary photographers. I love that part so much. And the 5th one, of course, post-production, which is the tools you basically use. So there you go. 5 tips to take better pictures with your smartphone. Love to hear from you guys. Drop your comments in the comments section below, and I'll see you in the next video. And don't forget to subscribe, please. Alright guys, so I know I said I was done, but because it is Friday, my favorite day of the week, I feel like I should have one more tip for you guys, which is lighting. lighting is basically everything in photography. So you want to put that at the back of your mind. If you're taking selfies, you want to shoot close to the window so you can have the natural light hitting your face, by all means, if you want to invest in lighting equipment, you can to up your photography journey as well. If you want to take landscape, you might want to take it in the morning, for sunrise, add a little bit of punch to those pictures, or you want to take it later on in the evening where the sun isn't that harsh and stuff like that. So basically, lighting is key in photography, and you must consider that always. Thank you guys again. Can I walk out now?
Go.
All right.